Now into this best of 5, and we're going to start to the bottom right with Invictus Gaming's Blue Zerg player. It's going to be iAsonu. And to the top left, we saw her taking down Pet in the semi-finals. She took down her opponent today, iAsonu, a few days ago in the Leifeng Cup. Can she do it again in a best of 5 now? It is going to be the pink Zerg player from Dead Pixels, Scarlett. So they set up into game number 1 of the best of 5. We're going to see a spawning pool on the way down here. So a pool first from Scarlett on Frozen Temple. Not really super aggressive, just maybe playing safe here to kick things off. I mean, we've seen her play multiple different sort of kind of play styles in the very early stages of the because in the very early stages of the in other ZvZs we've seen her play a lot of different play styles today against Pet, for example, and so on. So interesting to see how this turns out. This is the second time we've seen Scarlett in a finals where it's been an all-foreigner final. Again, she's got 3 second places, and this is I mean, she's had so many chances. She went I think she lost to Yishi 3 games to 2. She lost to Alive after going up 2 games in the finals as well. Can she get herself her first Douyu Star Masters Cup win today in Cup number 46? Guys, chill out in the chat a little bit. You need to calm it down a bit. And that's why we don't discuss balance and shit and like this and whatever the hell you're discussing. So you chill out, keep it friendly. People have different opinions. No need to make it nasty in the chat. Thank you. As we see Scarlett with the hatchery now on the way. Gas, of course, on the way up as well. She'll be a little bit behind on her circling speed, but only by a few seconds as we hit her lag spike. This time it's cloudy. It was lagging out, so hopefully fixed. And hopefully he is back here in a moment or two, or fixed up and good to go once again. So see how this goes. We're just getting the setup ready to roll. As we have Scarlett just saying, let's try, go, 3, 2, 1, and we resume into the ZvZ. Frozen Temple, one of the more aggressive maps of the map pool, while still being a good map to kind of expand on and take extra bases on. And you can see a lot of different things on this. So yeah, let's see how this is gonna go. A few people cheering for Scarlett in the chat. Blunderful guy. We got Scarlett in the chat saying go Scarlett. Scarlett go, says Luna Resta. How's everyone doing? Hope you're all doing well. Let me know what's up, dude. Let me know if you're cheering on Scarlett today. Let me know if you're cheering on iAsonu, perhaps. Love to see who you guys want to see winning this best of 5. And just let me know what's up, guys. Let me know how we're all feeling today. And let's keep the discussion going in the chat as well, as we see Scarlett is going to hit this very fast lair without the link speed. So she's going to go for that kind of roach-based opening, which we saw her use against Pet. And we've seen her pull the drones there just to make sure she kills off them Zerglings and denies them the scouting information, which would be right now the lack of link speed on that spawning pool, which is actually very important for her to deny. So going to be seeing the Fit Hatchery starting on up over here. We're going to see the Overlord from Scarlett. Just going to start heading out onto the map as well. And we are just going to be seeing another Overlord just coming down through towards the bottom right. So, pretty sound stuff so far. We see a Rotron and an Evo Chamber coming up over here. We see Scarlett with a couple of links just sat on the watchtower. Sat on the ramp, sorry, watchtower. There's no watchtowers on this map anymore, of course, after that update a few months ago now. And to remove the 2 watchtowers here and here. Made a bit of a better map because there's no need for the 2 watchtowers. Just made the kind of center of the map completely pointless unless he couldn't hold them. It was really dumb. They were really dumb. Anyway, both players actually end up going without link speed here into the +1 upgrade opening. So both are kind of going for a similar setup, but it's actually going to be Scarlett who's behind on the 3rd base this time around. So Scarlett is sort of in the position Pet was in when she went for when this happened in their semi-final match. So Scarlett a bit later on the 3rd base, but she will have that roach speed already started, so that will be an advantage for her. But let's see if she's going to be able to do something with it. As we see the couple of links just backing away, and there is her 3rd hatchery coming down. She's 3 workers ahead right now. Again, let's just keep this up. Again, it's going to be a much later roach speed for iAsonu, as that lair has only just started for him. So just differences in the builds, with the same ideas in the builds, but just slight differences in terms of orders of things and little things like that. As we see the couple of links just pulling away towards the bottom left-hand side. Remlift cheering on Scarlett here. We got Elska also cheering on Scarlett as well. A lot of Scarlett supporters. Pretty standard, I think. And as we see, there's a couple of links from iAsonu just coming up the left-hand side of the map. You can see a creep tumor pushing out from iAsonu as well, so pushing that creep tumor out, and again, just creep continue to come onto the map as well. So, just yeah, seeing Scarlett kind of starting to kind of make roaches begin to be aggressive. We're going to see the Mule's transition on the way as well from her. The Spire already started. As she hits roach speed, she is going to go across the map and see if she can do something, but she isn't on as many roaches as her opponent because of the fact she started a Spire. So I'd be very surprised if she ended up fighting here. As she moves up the ramp, she'll probably see that there's too many units for her to fight into, and she'll back away. And what she'll end up doing is just saying, well, you know what, I've got roach speed, so I can actually get away very easily and very safely. As we see again, those roaches just splitting up. I'm going to be seeing iAsonu just sort of sat overhead and looking to see what's going on. Every time I say iAsonu, my phone thinks I say hi Siri, and it starts fucking talking to Siri. It's really every time I say it, so I need to move it away and turn it upside down so I can't see what it's doing. Anyways, we're going to see the obviously they're getting picked off. We're going to see a couple of creep tumors pushing out onto the map as well. And yeah, I mean, Scarlett a little bit behind in the worker camp, but she is going into those mutalisks, and again, just sort of setting up in a way where she's going to look to kind of harass around a little bit with 5 meters. Again, it's not a huge commitment to the mutalisks, and she's continuing with her roach upgrades as well, plus 2 already started, in fact, in lead in that upgrade by about 10 seconds or so. So she's just getting these few meters out to harass a bit, and, well, there's a hider down the way down from iAsonu. Did he spot the Spire? He has spotted it now, so he knows it's on the way. Let's see how much how quickly he reacts to this, or how he reacts to this, like, see if it's an overreaction or what. I was going to see the first meters coming down in towards the third base, and immediately he's just going to work their way through a couple of drones. Only 4 of the meters here right now, but they still get 4, 5 worker kills already, 6. These meters are having a pretty good time, actually. I mean, that's a good amount of workers killed. They can pull away and get some damage onto roaches for free a little bit as well. Maybe pull back and work their way through a couple of overlords and overseer. So, I mean, a lot of potential actually with these meters, and already Scarlett definitely playing this out as quite well at the very start of this, as we see the meters again just looking to see what they can get up to. You're going to come in up here and just going to start working their way through this overlord. There's going to be another overlord going down then, so a couple of overlords have fallen now. And Scarlett just going to be coming down towards the right side with the meters, but again just looking around, sees another overlord to the bottom left with that roach army she was trying to get into position, so she takes that down too. And one of the things she definitely takes advantage of in this game then is going to be that map control. Look at her vision, she sees every single pathway, whereas her opponent now, iAsonu, is going to see absolutely nothing apart from his creep spread and his own free bases. So he's going to have to really be kind of on top of moving around the map to make sure he's just aware of where his opponent is, where Scarlett's moving, where she might attack next. Make sure he's always in position, as we see a single roach up the right hand side again, just trying to re-establish some sort of map control here. And again, just the 6 mutalisks have been very effective so far. They've achieved a lot. Roaches do get found by that single roach of iAsonu we mentioned before, so you can start moving over to the right side, as again though we see this mutalisk just again being a little bit of a nuisance. But iAsonu, if we get enough army here to push this back, I feel he's also got a few hydras in here as well, so the mutalisks can't just kind of jump onto the roaches and tag them as they try and chase or whatever. So just gonna see the roaches and hydras pulling back once again, and well, there is that 4th base on the way from Scarlett, coming up to being about halfway done. So 4th base is going to be about halfway done. We're going to see what 6 mutalisks from Scarlett continue to head south down the map. We're just going to be seeing the few Ravagers just starting morphing from Scarlett as well. So that's going to be what a good 8 Ravagers coming into play. So I mean, Roach Hydra is kind of interesting. Like the Hydras are only really there because of the mutalisks. Roach Hydra doesn't work so well anymore in kind of ZvZ because Ravagers just do the same job and they're better at it. So it's not that it doesn't work, it's just it's better to go Ravagers with that extra gas. Now the Hydra Den can be useful still for the Lurker Den transition, the Lurker transition in general, but again the Hydras here mostly kind of deal with the meters, so I kind of like Scott's composition just a little bit more. The Ravagers will really kind of dictate where iAsonu can fight and how he fights and how many units take part in his fight as well. So see what happens. A little bit of a counter attack from iAsonu too. Scarlett attacks in here in the next couple of moments. I quite like her position. She begins to run forwards, but it's a pretty good concave from iAsonu. Does she have what she needs back at home to defend this? I don't think so. She's like maxed out, and she doesn't have anything back at home, so that's going to be a little bit damage she's going to take here. But she is starting to take a good fight over here. Actually taking some very good fights where she's just sort of fighting against lower numbers of her opponent's army, and yeah, she sees advantages, she sees possibilities that are being opened up by this Corrosive Bile play style, which is kind of forcing her opponent to keep splitting and keep them splitting all the units up. And she's trying to make sure he keeps taking advantage of that. She starts to attack on in. At the same time, roaches are over here, but Mutas are beginning to deal with this, so Scarlett's turning this around, and she is continuing to fight on through, but her roach count is getting a little bit low. Ravagers need a few more battles here just to help out. Looks as though Scarlett does have enough here in the end, and she will push on through. Very well played out game. Really, just the Mutalisks just giving her a little bit of an advantage at a point in this game. And with that advantage, she just went with it. She just made it happen. And is able to take game number 1 here. 50 supply lead. Very difficult to pull behind from this. She did lose a lot of drones, that being said. But she's going to have reinforcements joining up, and she's still going to have a much larger army to work with. And having killed off so much of her opponent's army, she's probably going to be okay. That being said, iAsonu actually has a lot of money in the bank again. He's again struggling to spend his money like we saw in that ZvZ previously. I'm just going to see the Roaches and Ravages joining up together, Mutas as well. I mean, Scarlett's army supply is still looking good. A few more Hydras on the way out once more from iAsonu here. Still love the Ravagers. You could see it there when Scarlett was using the Biles to force her opponent, force iAsonu to like split up. When he split up, she jumped and kind of committed to one side of the split, just so that she made it get, you know, she got a bit of a head start in the engagement. As we're going to see the Mutas still just sat overhead. The Ravagers and a few Roaches just sort of sat towards the bottom right hand side as well, just having a think as to what they might want to get up to here sometime soon as the units coming up towards the top once more. Scarlett just continuing to move around. As you're going to see iAsonu, well, he's recovering a little bit. I mean, the damage he did across the map was definitely going to slow Scarlett down a bit here. And he did have a lot of money in the bank, so the supply differential wasn't maybe kind of the telltale, you know, everything, you know, well, the supply differential wasn't everything in this game. And kind of just, you know, saying, sort of showing us what sort of position the players were in. So if he Ravages up now from iAsonu, but he doesn't have that much to tank. He's actually got 12 Ravages, 14 Hydras, and 4 Roaches. It's a very vulnerable army in the sense that it's going to die very quickly. Not a lot of tanking units for this, like Scarlett's army here, which has the Roaches in the front, and that actually does make a big difference. So Scarlett continue to just trade over to the right-hand side of this army. I'm just going to be seeing the units kind of coming in. I'm just going to continue to see these Roaches and Ravagers continue to try and clean up. And again, I just feel as though Scarlett's army composition is better because she just has the Roaches to tank, and so the units of hers synergize much better than Ravager Hydra out of iAsonu. GG. And Scarlett is going to take game number 1 of this best of 5. Will be very interested. A lot of mind games I feel at play here in the ZvZ, especially because they played the other day against each other. That's the upper left-hand side. We're going to see the blue Zerg from Dead Pixels. I know she's the fan favorite in the chat right now, so let's hear some noise in the chat if you're cheering on Scarlett. And to the bottom right hand side, our red Zerg play from Invictus Gaming. If you're a little bit of a Chinese player fan, then you should be cheering for this guy. It is going to be iAsonu. Both of these players taking down Koreans to make it through into the finals today. iAsonu taking down Natural. Scarlett taking down Pet. She also took down on her run through to the finals today a lot of great players. She took down Journey and Tails as well. So she's had a pretty legitimate run. You know, her run has been very her run's been tough. Just to reiterate, she took down Articuno, Journey, Tails, and then Pet. And on the other side of the bracket, iAsonu has taken down Easy Peasy, which is Breaking GG, I believe. Then Probe, then Time, then Natural. So. Well, I mean, they're both kind of tough runs. Neither of them are kind of easy runs. As we see this game just setting up. Hatchgas full from both players. As we set up here onto King Sejong Station. To the bottom right-hand side from Invictus Gaming, iAsonu is not going to be fooled by the hatchery first this time around it on a bad position, or wrong position. Scarlett just going to play straight up with the Hatchgas pool, so. Setting up into this game, we'll see how things are going to go, see what sort of build orders we're going to see in the near future, see if we actually get to see some Ling Bane action this time around. Is this the last series today, Corona Boy? Yes, it will be. Until later tonight when we have the SC to Improve Team League Season 6 semi-finals between Millennium and Euronics Gaming. That takes place at 8 PM CEST. So yeah, just... we don't cast the third place match of these events because they generally tend to take place while we're casting the finals, so unfortunately we don't usually get to cast the third place match, so we won't be casting the third place match most likely as we just get up into this game. What's the noise being made in the chat? Clapper, go Scarlett, show, good game Scarlett, noise, love Scarlett, cheer Scarlett, raw, noise, more noise, cheering for both. Well, that's nice of you. Good stuff, guys, good stuff. You guys have been awesome in the chat today. It's been a very active chat, which I love. Better than the other day, yesterday. Was it yesterday? We were streaming to like 700 people or something. And the chat was dead. It was like silent. And it was like, where is everyone? Where was everyone? I didn't understand it. It was crazy. So good to see you all around. Thanks for dropping by, of course, and watching today. Don't forget, if you're enjoying the show, to hit the follow button and see when we go live again in the future. Whole bunch of StarCraft content coming up on the channel. We stream pretty much every single day, apart from next week. I'm going to be going to DreamHack Valencia, so I will not be able to stream for you guys every single day then. As you see these couple of Zerglings from iAsonu, just going to come up this ramp into the natural and just have a little bit of a look to see what is going to be going on, as these couple of Lings are going to be just taking a little bit of damage, going to run around. I'm just going to be seeing again that third hatchery just on the way from iAsonu. I'm just going to see those couple of Zerglings from iAsonu as well, just continue to head up towards the upper left. So, a couple of Lings taking some damage, but good scout from iAsonu, actually sees the early lair from Scarlett, and so should be able to pick up on some information as to what this might be. Scarlett has throughout the day in the ZvZs with this early lair been playing with that fast Rotron in the Evo chamber. So see if that's something iAsonu recognizes. He's gone into his third hatchery very early, and also into the Rotron and Evo chamber. Oh, Scarlett going to change things up. Aspire. Oh, well, this is a bit of a mind game then, right? Because, you know, this is like, you know, we see at the front here, iAsonu tries to attack with a bit of Ling Bane. He sees kind of Rotron and an Evo chamber. So he kind of looks at it, he's like, oh, okay, so you're playing Roaches. But in reality, it's going to be the Mutalisk play. So Scarlett changing things up again. As we see the Ling Bane from iAsonu, just again a little bit back and forth right now, just having a little bit of a think as to what it might be able to get up to. We're going to see an Extractor coming down once more from Scarlett as the Spire just over halfway done. Just over halfway done. And as we see what sort of position this sets her up into, we see 10 Roaches on the way from iAsonu. And so iAsonu might just go very aggressive. He's been on 33 drones for quite a while without making any units at all. And so Scarlett needs to try and identify this, try and get some Spine Crawlers up to help her defend while she gets the Mutalisk count going, because 5 Mutas is not going to have a very good time. They're not going to deal with, I mean, even less Mutas, because she saw some melee upgrades. She needs Mutalisk, she needs units. Roaches are coming across the map, and quite frankly, melee upgrades aren't going to cut it. I kind of feel as though, yeah, she cancels the melee upgrades. She realizes she needs more Mutalisks. She needs as many Mutas as she can get just for extra damage. So many Spines starting, 4 Spine Crawlers, a Spore Crawler 2, which I think is actually maybe a bit of a mistake, maybe just a way to wall off. Actually, that's smart, because this is going to buy her a lot of time. Because now iAsonu actually has to break through the wall off before you can get through, and there's going to be transfuses also available. So it's actually really smart here. I like it. And she's going to be able to buy herself a lot of time as the Muta's already coming in, starting to work through the Roaches. Starting to try and minimize the numbers. There's a few transfuses to buy some time. The Banes starting to move forwards, and they will maybe be able to sneak through the sides here. Queens are going to be blocking as well. A few drones being pulled away. The Banes all being used up on the Queens at the front. Mutas continue to do damage. A few Banes get through, and so a couple of Spines are starting to get a little bit low on health, but actually Scarlett is defending this very nicely indeed. Gets her drones back to mining, realizing that these units should be focusing on the Spines, and the Mutalisk count is going to clean up. That hold of the Evo chamber wall and the transfusers bought her the time she needed, and also the Queens, being real heroes, throwing themselves in front of those Banelings, really actually made this not so great a situation for iAsonu, because now iAsonu is going to lose a lot of these Overlords. Scarlett has Mutas on the map. She's on a worker lead. Yes, she's down a base, but she is heading into a situation where she's going to be doing a lot of damage and making up for that, and she's already started +1, so she's actually going to be ahead on the missile upgrade up here. I love it as well. She also sets up a wall off once more, so there's only this small little gap over here, which can be kind of abused. And so that any kind of counterattack is not going to be immediately effective either, as we see Scarlett coming on in, going to start picking up some drones, and obviously going to be very happy to just get some damage done here. She could get the Spore Crawler maybe in time as well. I'm going to turn around and actually, I don't understand, may as well have tried to get the Spore Crawler at least. If we're going to see Lings running through here, Bane's coming up. I mean, Scarlett still has a couple of Spines. I'm just going to see, you know, them Spines going to be useful. The Muta's on the way back home, though. They want to try and target down the Banelings. The Banelings going to be the real threat here, and that's going to be a cancel. Can't commit to that. Might have been better to save the Mutas for another couple of moments to let the Banes finish, just to waste the money from iAsonu. But Scarlett definitely looking to be in a good spot now. 40 drones to the 35 up in army. Still has those Mutas, has upgrades started as well. She actually has all the advantages in this game. We see iAsonu still playing without the lair, so you can get up to +1 but no roach speed. Yeah, Scarlett's actually in a pretty great position. Just again, the lack of a third base, but she can definitely make up for that, I feel, with the Mutalisk. So it's not like iAsonu's really getting much advantage off the third base anyway. Only because he's not mining that much gas. I mean, Scarlett, her worker count, she's not even saturated her natural expansion yet because she's mining more gas, and that's one of the differences in this game too. The extra gas mining is, of course, going to be a benefit to her. So, you know, that lack of a third base doesn't mean so much just yet, as iAsonu also hit another supply block, starts up his own lair now. I'm just going to be seeing his Zergling has been denied. Scarlett once again finds herself in a position where she is on the map with all of the map control she could possibly need. I mean, she just has everything she wants. She has map control, she has units to kind of make, you know, take advantages with. She has a good roach transition on the way up for herself. I'm just going to be seeing these overlords just going to be going down here and there as well. Again, Scarlett off the back of a very strong hold is now going to be looking to be very well set up to take a 2-0 lead in this best of 5 series. Mira's going to fly in once again. Just again, a couple of drones going down. Just picking away at a little bit here or there. Hasn't lost a Mutalist yet, I don't believe. Good control by Scarlett, as we see. Ling is going to clash in the middle of the map with these roaches, which are moving across. Roach speed finished as well from Scarlett. With a +1 as well, she 2-shots those Zerglings, so she has no real problem fighting against those. As again, just diving around with the Mutalist, the roaches continue to come across. And we see iAsonu about to get his few of his own roaches on the way as well. But is it going to be enough to defend this? He's currently on. Well, he's going to have 10 roaches popping against 19 roaches of Scarlett. He pulls his queens down too. Mira's are currently killing off these Lings. A couple of Ravagers morph in to keep them safe against the Lings right away. The Scarlett's roaches are trading, and while they have a +1 carapace upgrade, and right now +1 missile upgrade too, that +1 missile is not done yet for iAsonu. Scarlett just going to be pushed back to the roaches for now, though. Just doesn't quite have the numbers there. Reinforcements a little bit slow to come across the map because of the Zerglings. She starts a +2 missile attack as well, continuing the upgrades, keeping herself into a very strong position as we see. I mean, a few Ravagers coming in. The Queen Count going to definitely help out a little bit as well from iAsonu. Some transfusers, a little bit of extra damage, but it's still not looking pretty. The Scarlet Fuse Files, I like that. Taking down the Spore is actually huge because now the Muse can come in and fight a little bit more effectively, a little bit more safely against these Queens. Battle's coming down. They're going to land on a Ravager or two as well. Mira count is starting to go down, and Scarlet is making progress through the army, though. I mean, as the Roaches and Ravagers fall, it's only Queens left over, and there's just the extra little bit of DPS on the Mutas. That's just going to help out. Yeah, she loses the Mutas, but she doesn't need them. iAsonu GG's out, and Scarlett takes game 2, and she goes to hit horizontal spawns on Invader for map number 3. Guys, up 2 games in this series right now. It is going to be our pink Zerg to the bottom right-hand side of the map. Can she close this out? She is, from Dead Pixels, Scarlett. 2-0 lead for her. As we see to the bottom left-hand side, the red Zerg player from Invictus Gaming, it is iAsonu. Actually, first from both. Yeah, I mean, it's a mess map is one they played the other day in the Leifeng Cup, where they actually both went for a. Actually, sorry, Scarlett went for an early gas pool against a hatch gas pool, and iAsonu just scattered it early because it was horizontal spawns and defended it without really much difficulty at all. So, just gonna be seeing this Overlord just continue to head across over to the right-hand side, and we're just going to be seeing Scarlett sort of heading out on the map as well with an Overlord too. But both players just heading out with Overlords, right? I mean, nothing really too crazy there. As yeah, we're just going to be seeing Overlords again, just looking at cross paths in the very near future. So we'll see a spawning pool finishing up shortly, and the natural expansion is also on the way. So natural expansion on the way for both. I mean, nothing really too exciting to talk about. I'm just being a little bit stale and boring here. I'm sort of just watching the chat. Apologies. Yeah, I mean, just sort of very, pretty much what we'd expect to see so far, I think. I mean, iAsonu and Scarlett just hatch gas pooling, and no real kind of. I mean, Scarlett, I think, very confident in the macro games now. If you go 2 games in a row in fairly convincing fashion as well, like both of the, I completely fucked this up, haven't I? What am I doing? Shall we just start this? I don't know what I'm trying to say anymore. When you win both games very convincingly as Scarlett, in games 1 and 2, you should be very confident in macro games. You've held off both kind of aggressive attacks from your opponent. You've held off just straight up macro games. So, I think Scarlett should be feeling very good right now. And iAsonu may be the one who needs to maybe try and make something happen here. We're going to see the, Evolution Chamber going to be finishing up via iAsonu, which is first straight away something a little bit different, something we actually see quite often though on Invader. With being a bit of a longer map, we do quite often see this commitment to kind of, the kind of melee upgrade and kind of mass-ling playstyle stuff. So, we're just going to be seeing the link speed going to be finishing shortly. And Baneoness on the way down. Scarlett 2 going to go Evo Chamber, so both players have the same idea here, just slightly different timings, so slight different build orders, but similar ideas. I wonder if one player goes, if Scarlett goes Carapace instead of melee upgrades, would maybe dictate that she wants to switch into Roaches rather than continue to play Ling Bane and probably into Mutas, and there is that Carapace. So that leaves the transition into Roaches up. The Carapace is nice because it actually means that she's her Lings survive a little bit longer against Banelings too, whereas the Banelings of iAsonu's Lings are still going to die very quickly to Banelings. So Something to keep in mind, Scarlett actually with second Evo Chamber, finishes off the wall, and maybe just going to go +1/+1, so we'll see if that is going to be the case here. As for now, just a few lings on the map for both players, and they're starting to move out, and Scarlett just going to see these few lings here, and we'll back away. Again, Scarlett will be having the slower upgrade, so we'll have to play a bit more defensively for a while, as both players try to defend their third base with this kind of ling bane play in the early stages. We see a lot more lings on the way out from iAsonu, and them third hatcheries have finished up here early on. I'm just going to be seeing a few Zerglings moving forwards. Just going to pick off a couple of lings there as well. So we're just going to be seeing Scarlett continue to move forwards and chasing down these Zerglings right now. iAsonu backing away, about to have that +1 melee upgrade. Again, this is one of the things about Invader. We quite often see this sort of kind of mass ling style for quite a while, and I think both players will know that this is something that, you know, they're obviously doing it for a reason. They expect maybe their opponents to be doing it as well. So I'm sure Scarlett will be continuously thinking about making sure she's not kind of fighting against kind of better upgrades of her opponent or anything. As she comes in, gonna be trading pretty well here. I think the link count goes in favor of Scarlett in the end, and she will win out this fight. So Scarlett with a little bit of a nicer trade there. Now +1 melee is finished though from iAsonu, so trades like that will start to go in his favor instead. As we see the lings going over to the right hand side. A couple of overlords out the front from Scarlett. As we see more lings and banes just joining up together. Scarlett with the first few banes of the game actually starting to come in. And a lot more banes from iAsonu. But again, Scarlett's about to hit that +1 carapace, which will help her a little bit against this sort of ling bane fight, ling bane composition. A little bit more so than I'd say the +1 melee helps you out. So let's see how this is going to go. It's going to be one upgrade apiece. As we're going to see Scarlett just looking to try and fight. A couple of banes coming forwards here right away. Whoa! Scarlett just runs into a whole bunch of Balins. Well, that's not a great way to start. Obviously, 2 Balins is going to kill off those Zerglings, no problem. As we're going to see now, Queen's trying to help out, and, well, Queens will actually help out quite a bit with this defense. A couple of Balins still left at the back here, and we will see those being targeted down by the Queens. A few Zerglings getting on top of it. And we will actually see, of course, +1 melee will mean that the Balin is still one-shot. I completely forgot about that. My apologies. Yeah, sorry. So the Balins from iAsonu will still one-shot the lings of Scarlett despite the +1 carapace. Sorry, that completely kind of passed my mind. You know, one of them brain fart moments where you just like, you know, you say what you're used to saying, and then you just don't really think about the actual situation. So apologies for that. So that probably makes sense as to why the Banes were still one-hitting things. So Scarlett though does have now +1 melee and carapace, so she actually has an upgrade lead. But she's going to find a bunch of Banes in the middle of the map. I say find, more like run into unknowingly. And I think iAsonu is definitely starting to take a bit of an advantage here in this early stage of the game. He's ready to kind of defend against these units. Scarlett's been behind a couple of drones here or there as well, so has to be cautious. Both players on 3 bases. I mean, a couple of Bane hits is all it's going to take to kind of change the momentum in this game. And again, you got to remember Scarlett has that +1 carapace upgrade lead over her opponent for just another minute or so as well, so she still has opportunities to claw her way back a few supply, which is all the difference is right now between both players. Lair on the way for Scarlett, so you'd imagine it's going to be most likely, I mean, 2 different things you can go into. You can go into kind of a fast ultra play from this, which is not so common, or the Mutalisks as well. So we'll keep an eye out for either of those. We see Ling Bane coming in from iAsonu once again. Does Scarlett have enough to defend? Well, initial Banelins would say yes, she does. A few Banes trying to come in here. Queen's already on top of those though, as we're going to see Scarlett just pulling back, and she had 2 for 2 trade. A little bit dicey on the micro there, but she does make it work, and that's a really good trade from Scarlett. Gets rid of the Banes to the third base with the Queens. Gets rid of the Banes at the front with 2 Banes to free trade. Very good trade from Scarlett as we see her just backing away with these Zerglings again. And Banelin's actually going to take so many lings down with them there. And Scarlett again a little bit fast on that lair. 2 more Banes go down, 1 Bane left over. And that will be a single Zergling to try and pick that off, and it will go down. And so iAsonu actually finds himself on the end of some really disadvantageous trades now after the last couple of moments. Still just ling-based aggression from both heading across the map. Lair finished again from Scarlett, and it's again, you gotta expect like a Spire maybe. She actually goes +2 melee to begin with, so we're gonna stick with Ling Bane for a while longer. It'd be scary if one player gets the mutas and the other doesn't, because it means immediately that the kind of Ling Bane on the map is going to be kind of caught off guard, can't really do too much any longer. As you see, just continued fights, and again, just a little bit back and forth here. Scarlett again, just taking that +2 upgrade as her advantage for now. Is there something else behind this for her? Is there a Spire on the way? Is there an Infestation Pit? Or is it just going to be +2/+2? For now, +2/+2 seems to be the call. She has led herself now into 13 army supply lead. iAsonu on the other side of the map. I mean, let's go over here. All the action's been kind of on Scarlett's half of the map for a while. But, iAsonu's side of the map, well, not too much going on, really. I mean, he's just been continuing to make stuff. He has got his lair up. He goes straight into the Spire. So, he goes straight for the Mutalisks as soon as his lair becomes available. Scarlett going to have the upgrade lead. Another nice 2 for 3 trade in favor of Scarlett there on the Banelings. Resources lost. Wow, look at that. iAsonu's been a little bit ahead in terms of drones all game long, only by one, 2 or 3 here or there. But you can see 1.4k difference in resources lost is the favorite for Scarlett. Well, that changes things a little bit as a few Banelings go up once more. These Banelings in the center, Scarlett might lose these actually. iAsonu surrounding, realizing that this might not be surrounding long enough, as we see Scarlett trying to do some damage control here on her damaged Banelings. Just doesn't want to lose all of those 2 Banelings. That'd be a disastrous trade. She now has her own Spire also on the way, so faster upgrades later mutas. So both players again with the similar ideas but slightly different ways of doing things. We're just going to be seeing the Lings coming through the center of the map, thinking about what they want to do. Yeah, iAsonu has a lot of money in the bank ready for their mutas to come up, and again it will force Scarlett to become the defender for quite some time now, until her own mutas kind of come up. And she's so far behind in gas though. I mean, how's she ever going to catch up in muta count? She's going to be like a lot of meters behind. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. She's just so far behind in the gas count. It's quite incredible, actually. You see this Ling Bane coming forwards again. I mean, it's a shame because as soon as Scarlett hits these 2-2 upgrades, she wants to fight. She wants to trade with the Ling Bane, but she's just not going to find an opportunity to, because her opponent's just going to have mutas which are going to force her back. So unless she can run around the map, it's going to be very difficult for her. As we see her just coming up here, she was going to realize she can pick off that Bane in plenty of time, and she's going to take that down. That Ling's being pushed away to the left-hand side once again. So there's a few Lings from iAsonu coming up to the top side. Scarlett again with 2-2 finishing, she will be feeling really confident now. But again, it's the Mutalisks, and there's already 7 out and 4 more on the way from iAsonu with +1 fire attacks started. And Scarlett is well, got set. She's got the gas for 9 Mutalisks. She's going to immediately just be Mutalisks behind. Interesting setup here, as we're going to see the mutas, of course, going to find an overseer. And actually, Scarlett will just have a lot of queens, so she does have a way to fight against this. Bane's trading here, as we're going to see Lings coming in as well. Mutas will probably pull back from iAsonu to try and help defend against this. Scarlett's 2-2 upgrades right here, just trying to be useful, trying to get something out of them. But for now, not quite working out, as he's just going to have to pull back for those Zerglings back towards these queens. Oh, she turns around and fights. I mean, she's taking damage from the mutas all the time, though, and that's obviously going to hurt as well. Infestation bit from Scarlett. So I think she realizes already that she's just not going to be able to keep up in muta count, so she decides to go for a bit of a different approach here with kind of a defensive, mutas and queens to kind of fight against the mutas for now, and then into the infestors with the fungal growths potentially to maybe turn this game around a bit. But iAsonu is the one who's now in a huge army supply lead. And again, Scarlett invested into those 2-2 upgrades but got absolutely nothing out of them. And so now iAsonu comes into the main base. Going to lose what, 1 mutalist there straight away actually from the spore crawlers. Actually 2 mutas from the spore crawlers, and a third. Whoa, iAsonu. That's the complete opposite of how he wants to be playing. I mean, got a muta lead, definitely don't want to throw it away. 3 mutas going down to kill 1 spore crawler. Definitely not worthwhile at this sort of point in the game, I don't think, as we see mutas just joining with the Ling Bane once more. Towards the top side of the map now, actually. So, again, just looking for a bit of a different opportunity, a bit of a different way to attack in. And those Lings and mutas just going to chase over to the right-hand side here. Those Lings from Scarlett just pulling back, and we're going to be seeing a few Banes rolling in. And I thought that was going to get really exciting there for a moment or two, but it wasn't too exciting. Just a few Zerglings at the front getting caught. There's some infestors coming up, and Scarlett going to go back into muta production. So she's what, 3 mutas against 20? 3 mutas against 20. Did she just lose a few mutas? I don't know where they went. I haven't seen them go down, so maybe we missed them somewhere. I'm sure she had 7. No, she only ever made 3 initially. Okay, so that's just me imagining things. So Scarlett will start making mutas now that she has infestors to back them up. She has some queens underneath as well. And she has, again, the infestors kind of going to be a big part of this, though. As the Ling is moving across the map, iAsonu still sits defensively back at home. Burrow on the way for Scarlett. That could be interesting. Maybe some burrowed. I mean, maybe just keep them Lings alive in fights, or maybe just play some burrowed Baneling play. I mean, it's very hard to play in ZvZ. I don't think we ever see that, but it could be interesting. Maybe it's just a way to kind of keep units alive, though, in general. As you see. Oh, it could be feeling. I mean, I guess the infestors probably the kind of unit which probably benefits the most. Of course, there we go. I figured out eventually, guys. We got there. And the infestors benefit a lot from these from this burrow upgrade, because now she can burrow them, keep them underground, and obviously then the mutas can't necessarily see them until maybe the last possible moment, as we can see. Fungal coming in, catches 2 mutas. Nice start. And actually throws another fungal in, maybe a little bit unnecessarily. These mutas now from iAsonu have to be very careful, because any time he comes near Scarlett's base, infestors could be nearby, and that could be the trap that she is looking to set up here. And as we see her down, still 13 mutalisks, but again with the queens underneath and with fungal growth and damage being done, could change very quickly. Doing a good job to clean out a few of these spore crawlers, making sure that he can just sort of keep Scarlett away from kind of keeping the queens as mobile as she wants them to be. There's going to be seen Hive on the way from iAsonu as well. The natural transition from this point is going to be into Ultralisk, something which Scarlett really has nothing at all to deal with in terms, on the ground. So iAsonu definitely knowing his advantages right now and just playing it out here. Scarlett has a while where she can definitely make it back in this game. She's actually going to even up the meter count. So meter count going to turn out to be even here very soon, and she's actually going to have an upgrade advantage on the +1 for Carapace for a few seconds. Okay, so maybe Scarlett, if she can take a fight here soon, maybe she can make something happen. The meter count's even, so let's see if she can. We're going to see the Viewers. Oh no, the Fungal Growth surely is going to catch them, and that is maybe just going to be a game-ending move. As Scarlett comes in, she commits, and she's going to pick off so much, and that is going to tilt the kind of position of this game completely into Scarlett's favor. 10 more meters start immediately from iAsonu. And Scarlett now feeling the confidence to actually move onto the map and take a fight. She's going to find a few more Balins out here, and she is... she wants to fight. I mean, she's got the +1 Carapace for a few seconds longer. Doesn't take it though, as we're going to see the Queen's Infestors slowly pushing across. She's confident. That one Fungal Growth changes so much of this. As we see Scarlett again thinking about coming in. And decides not to. A few Banes on the ground still for Scarlett as well to kind of back her up. She still has a +2 Carapace upgrade on the ground as well. Not sure how much of that will really come into play here in this upcoming fight. As we see a big spread out of iAsonu. The Queens are still coming across. They're not here just yet. And I mean, iAsonu can see that that's what Scarlett is trying to play for here, play with the Queens as well. I mean, Scarlett's committed to this now, so she's pretty much all in, right? I mean, if she doesn't, if she kind of runs into a tough spot now, she's kind of dead because she's going to lose everything. She starts up creep team, that's actually smart. She's going to give herself some more creep to work with. Using iAsonu's creep to set up her own creep here, as we're going to see a few Banes finishing up, and well, again, the Fungal Growths are going to kind of dictate so much of this here. As actually Scarlett finds a fight with a lot of the meters split away to the top side, and so Scarlett's going to pick off a bunch of meters already. A few Banes being cancelled, and at the same time, meters to the north, we're going to see an Overseer going down as well. A few Banes will be going down here too. Scarlett continuing to trade well so far. And we're going to see, here we go, the commitment in. The Fungal Growths are pretty good to begin with, and in fact, the Fungal Growths land on a lot of meters. There's a Parasite Bomb to the north side though, from the single Viper of iAsonu, but does Scarlett just have too much? I think she does. She has just completely outplayed iAsonu in this game. I mean, iAsonu definitely had a bit of a lead, but Scarlett in the latter stage is just making the moves, making the